Good morning, everybody. Carson Meredith with you. It is 9:46 on this Sunday morning, July 28th, almost August. It's crazy. Quick update for you this morning on our first little batch of heavy rain that is moving on in. It's been raining quite a bit west of Louisville here over the last couple of hours, and the leading edge of that heavy stuff is about to move into the city. So a lot of you getting going on this Sunday. Maybe you're about to head out the door to go to church, got some brunch plans. Make sure the umbrellas are with you and the Wave Weather app too, so you can get those lightning and heavy rain alerts as the day goes on. Let me take you first to our Jeffersonville SkyTrack camera. There are the dark clouds slowly moving in. Go to the comments here. Weather Geek says, good morning. Getting thunder in the south end. I'm not surprised by that one bit. Let's be clear, though. There is nothing severe this morning, and I really don't expect to see anything severe today. Can never rule it out, but I will say the fact that we're getting storms this early in the day works in our favor. It'll limit the instability, but we just don't have a lot of wind energy. So not too worried about severe storms. It's the heavy rain and the heavy storms that we'll have to focus on. Here's the big picture. It is scattered. It's not a full-fledged gully washer just yet. And there will be some dry time today. Little bits here and there. Little dry time here, little dry time there. Not a lot, but there will be some as the day goes on. So we're just going to kind of dance around the radar here. Let's start off here in the metro. Nothing too terribly heavy in Jefferson County just yet. We got a decent downpour, though, that's trying to get its act together in the south end, where Weather Geek was just saying he was hearing some thunder along the Snyder, near Preston Highway, Smyrna, near the Weather Service office, in fact. That stretches really right along Bardstown Road as you get up towards the Watterson. Little downpour there. A little bit heavier rain in Valley Station, down near the Dixie. Greenbelt Highway, seeing some heavier rain. The heaviest rain in the entire metro area is across the river, southern Indiana. Very heavy rain along I-64 in Floyd County, from Georgetown, getting up towards Palmyra and Harrison County, some heavier rain. Got some lightning with this downpour in northern Floyd County, a little closer to Grant Line Road, north of New Albany. So the leading edge of this stuff is starting to move in. So again, if you're heading out in the next hour or so, well, forget the next hour, the next 15 to 30 minutes here in the city or nearby, umbrellas a must, and slow down. This is the kind of heavy rain where you can't see a thing out the windshield. Okay, so back it down. I know we all want to fly on the roads. Just back it down and take it slow. Give yourself plenty of space, too. Go to the radar tour, a little more detail here in a second. Let's check the comments. Nancy says, good morning. DJ King says, good morning. Pouring in Marengo. Carrie says on YouTube, finally. Yes, we're going to get some very beneficial rain today. That is for sure. Charles says, good morning from Breckenridge County. You guys have seen quite a bit of rain already in Breckenridge County this morning. I'll show you those rainfall totals so far here in a sec. Katie says, severe weather or just heavy rain? Looks like just heavy rain. Could we have some wind? Yes. It's not impossible, but that is a very low risk today. Tomorrow and Tuesday, that's becoming a different story. We do have some severe weather risk coming into play tomorrow and Tuesday. I'll share that new info here in just a few minutes as well. Savannah says, asking about severe storms, not expecting any today. Maybe some wind with one or two stronger storms, but that threat is very low. Main focus is heavy rain today. Nancy says it is raining hard in Georgetown. Yeah, it sure is. It is just pouring. What did we say yesterday, guys? We said buckets and buckets and buckets of rain. The amount of moisture in the atmosphere today is crazy. I mean, this is true tropical air that is moving into wave country. So these storms are going to be efficient rainmakers, and they're going to be slow moving. That's not a good combo for heavy rain, obviously, but that's why the flooding threat's a little higher today. So thanks for that report, Nancy, appreciate it. A lot of folks tuning in this morning. Thundering with some rain in Sellersburg. Yeah, watch that heavier downpour, Nancy, that's in Floyd County. This one right here. That's going to be moving towards Sellersburg in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So keep that in mind. Leanne says it's raining in Lanesville. Sounds about right. Ann says good morning. Good morning, Ann. Hope all is well. Adam watching in Bloomington. Hope all is well up there near IU. Lori says started a little in Radcliffe. And good morning. Good morning. Appreciate the reports as always. Even if it's just rain, tell us how heavy it is. Got some ponding on the roads? Let us know. It's going to give us a good idea of how the rest of the day is going to unfold. Ann says it just started raining in Germantown. Nikki on YouTube says it's in Clarksville. She's in Clarksville, that is. Lots of loud thunder. Yeah, these are going to be loud storms today, but they will not, in all likelihood, not be severe. Not too worried about that today. Anna says good morning from Highview. Raining in Radcliffe, says Angela. Lance says good morning from Lexington. Lexington not seeing a whole lot just yet, Lance, but you'll get some decent storms coming in later on today out there. Kevin says just saw some lightning in downtown. I don't doubt that. And I haven't heard any thunder here at the station downtown, but that'll probably change here in the next little bit. Thunderstorms, some heavy rain in Vine Grove, according to Kim. Thanks for that report, Kim. Appreciate it. Judy says good morning. Carrie says, I really appreciate the long-form weather reports explaining why things are happening instead of just saying what might happen. Well, thanks, Carrie. We're really focused on that here at WAVE, is to give the weather info where you guys are. And being on a digital platform instead of regular TV, we're kind of in control of everything. I know y'all can't see it, but I've got 3 computers right in front of me, juggling everything, talking to you guys, the graphics and things like that. So yeah, we enjoy doing this, and you guys obviously enjoy watching it. We can just talk weather, break it all down instead of cramming everything into 3 or 4 minutes on TV. And we usually don't do these updates on weekend mornings, but with the Olympics on WAVE and NBC, a lot of our newscasts are wiped out right now. What we got this morning? Water polo's on, looks like. Team USA. So if you want to put that on the background while you listen to me talk about weather, have at it. Redith says good morning from Brandenburg. Sean says good morning from Smithfield, out in the barn this morning. Hope the animals aren't going to be too stressed about the storms today. Jason says coming down heavy in Clarksville about 15 minutes ago. Yeah, especially on the west side of Clarksville. You can see that heavier downpour basically right over IUS in New Albany, obviously. Just starting to make its way, this next downpour at least, just starting to creep into Clarksville. That's I-65 right there. This is Lee Hamilton, Blackiston Mill Road goes somewhere through here, Grant Line somewhere in there. So yeah, that part of Floyd and Clark County, heads up. That is a big old downpour. Let's move back into the metro. You can see that leading downpour is moving out of Okolona, out of Highview into Fern Creek, along Beulah Church Road, Barchtown Road, like we talked about earlier. Glenberry, you're going to get some pretty good rain here in a second. J-Town, even up towards Pikes Point, Klondike, St. Matthews, even a little shower trying to get going in Middletown. So this is going to be the story throughout the day, guys. I wish I had better news. I wish I had a quieter forecast. But it's summer. It's hardly ever quiet in the summer. Glenda says, hey, got some light rain in Bardstown. Appreciate that report, Glenda. There'll be plenty more to come. Yeah, good point, Ann. Get your thunder shirts on the pups. Yeah, my pup is 15, going on 16. And she does not like thunder. Never has. Need to find that thunder shirt. I don't know where it went. Judy says, good morning in Prospect. Becky says, nothing in Salem yet, but we sure could use it. Let's go to Salem. And I'm just kind of going through the comments, guys. And, you know, we don't have a newscast until 6 o'clock tonight, so we got plenty of time to just talk all this out. Good news for you, though, Becky. Look at that in Washington County. That rain's out near Bexmill and Campbellsburg and is about to move into Salem. So it's almost there. Good thing it wasn't last night. They had the ARCA race at Salem Speedway last night. That all worked out, thankfully. Savannah says, what is the severe risk for tomorrow? The main issue tomorrow and Tuesday, and maybe every single day this upcoming week, is going to be wind. Damaging wind gusts, these storm clusters that we were talking about yesterday, talking about last night. At least for the next 2 days, we're getting a better idea of when exactly those storm clusters are going to move through. And I'm going to walk you through all that here in just a few minutes as well. Good question, Savannah, because it's definitely going to be a busy week. Roger says, getting dark in Salem. Yeah, that is the reason why, my friend. Heavy rain about to move into Salem. Donnie says, good morning from DuBois, Indiana. Hope all is well out there, Donna. Let's see. Good morning. My family's returning to Louisville from Hamilton, Ohio later this afternoon. Will they run into these storms? Yes, they will. They will. Hopefully it doesn't rain the entire time as they're heading home, but they will be running into some heavier storms like we're seeing this morning. So might want to give them a heads up and say, hey, could be some heavy rain as you're heading home. Be careful. Take it slow. But again, not expecting severe today. Heather says, good morning from Paoli. Tracy says, good morning. Bring the rain. Salem needs it. A lot of Salem folks this morning. Love it. We always take care of our friends in Washington County. Shirley says, coming down in Vine Grove. Adam says, a nice light shower up in Bloomington. Yard and pavement watered. Garden enjoying it. Yeah, I bet. Let's see here. Zach says, patiently waiting in Carrollton, ready to see the green grass. Getting a little dry, that's for sure. No tornadoes. Nope, nothing like that so far today. Boy, we got some nasty folks in the comments too. Not sure what that's about, but we took care of it. All right, so that's where things stand at this point. Again, heavy rain continues to move in along the I-65 corridor, really. But I will say this leading edge of heavier rain right through here, it was much heavier about an hour ago. So it has weakened quite a bit. It always seems to do that. I don't know why. But we're definitely not done yet. Let me get rid of you can see the warm front is lifting in this morning. It's going that way. So this is kind of the reason why we have that leading push of rain that's moving in now. But let me turn that off for a second so you can see a clearer view of radar across the region. And it doesn't look like a lot. I get it. I know. But you see here, we've got more downpours trying to fire up near Bowling Green and Hopkinsville. And heads up for my friends in central Kentucky. This is why we're a little concerned about flooding for you guys today, is if these heavier downpours developing to the west hold their strength or continue to strengthen, that may lead to a flooding issue south of Louisville today. Everybody can still see heavy rain. Everybody can still see ponding on the roads. But it's central Kentucky in particular that I'm still a little more concerned about when it comes to flooding. That's a live view of Bardstown on the SkyTrack camera. A little bit of rain moving on through this morning. Let's see here. Teresa says, good morning from Jamestown, Kentucky. I had some relatives that from that part of the world. Sherry says, raining like crazy in Highview. Yeah, definitely. That leading edge of that rain moving in. Christy says hello from right here in Louisville. Sean says, really stinks not having it on TV. Tried watching in the morning, but forgot the Olympics were going on. Yeah. I'm a huge Olympics fan. Always have been, always will be. But yeah, it's definitely thrown things for a loop around here, but that's okay. That's all right. We will not have weekend morning newscast for another couple weeks, basically until the Olympics are over. So you'll only be able to see us on the TV side of things at 6 and 11 o'clock at night on weekends. which is why we are here with you on Wait Weather Now this morning. Judith is here. Will we have any risk of severe weather? Not today. Monday and Tuesday looks interesting. Love the wave weather community togetherness. Yeah, we're all one big happy family here, aren't we, Adam? It's great. Another little report. Lori says pouring in Meade County. Yep, it's going to be pouring on again, off again throughout the day. You see, you just had a good little downpour move through Bardstown. Another thing to keep in mind, we don't really think of this time of year, but it can definitely be the case. If you haven't seen a lot of rain recently, we had a good bit of rain about, a week and a half ago, a little over a week ago. But if you didn't see any of that rain, a lot of the car oils and all that stuff, it gets on the roads. And when it pours like this, it kind of releases that fluid or that oil that's on the ground or on the road, pulls it back up, if you will. So that, long story short, the roads could be a little slick in a few spots. That's just something else to keep in mind too. Let me show you a few more Kentucky Mesonet cameras. Still looks dry for the most part from these 4 cameras. Temperatures in the mid 70s. Yes, it is muggy. Ugh, it is air you can wear. I don't like it. But all that cloud cover and the rain moving in at 10 o'clock in the morning will help to keep us cooler today. I'm only expecting upper 70s to low 80s for highs. That's it. So way below average when it comes to those temperatures. So it's always a trade-off, right? Rain chances are at their highest now through about 4 or 5 o'clock this evening at 80%. Again, there will be some dry time here and there. Some. Not a lot. Okay, so if you have any outdoor plans, I'm not going to say cancel them because, everybody's got their own thing, decide whether they want to stay outside or not. But it would not be a bad idea to have an indoor backup plan, all right? 80% chance now through 4 or 5 o'clock, and then we will see those rain chances drop this evening. I think there will still be some storms around all night, just not quite as many as what we're going to see throughout the day today. So some breaks, not a whole lot. Christy says, what's the severe risk for the rest of the week? Low for now, but there could be some gusty winds, especially tomorrow and Tuesday. Let's see. Zach says, will there be a lot more rain near Hardinsburg? There's a good chance there will be, yes, certainly as the day goes on. Debbie says raining in Okolona. Jeff says hoping the rain makes it to Upton. It's going to make its way there, Jeff. It should very shortly, as a matter of fact. Okay, here's the excessive rainfall outlook. Basically, kind of how I explained it yesterday, this is the severe weather outlook, similar to that, but this is for flooding. All right, so we're talking about flooding here. And you notice that slight risk for flooding was actually expanded this morning. Yesterday, it was mainly in central Kentucky, but the Weather Prediction Center, the WPC, pushed it to the north and west to include Du Bois County, Orange County, Washington County, even Floyd, Harrison, and Crawford as well. Everybody could see isolated flooding issues today, yes. But like we explained a few minutes ago, it's really central Kentucky I'm most concerned about for seeing that localized flooding potential, because you had this initial shot of heavy rain move in this morning, and we've got more heavy storms developing further out west that are going to move over those same spots. The training effect, like trains on a track, just going over the same spots. So that's the main concern we will have to watch throughout the day. Here's Futurecast. So for everybody asking, what about my town? What about my town? Here you go. Find the closest town on this map to you. 11 o'clock, so about an hour from now, widespread rain, a few storms, some heavy. We'll keep this big slug of rain around through the afternoon. So 1 o'clock, still going. But you notice by 3 o'clock, the big shield of rain, if you will, is starting to push east, slowly but surely, out towards Lexington, out towards Richmond. But you get back to the west, just like we're already seeing, more of those heavy downpours start to fire up. So we're not going to be totally clear once this morning rain moves out. There will still be some scattered showers and storms around. And the more of those scattered storms we see later on today, the closer we have to pay attention to that flooding risk, right? 5 o'clock this evening, I will say this is the HER model, high resolution rapid refresh. So we get these updates every hour. I will say, I think at this stage of the game, at 5 o'clock tonight, it shows a lot more activity than I think we're going to see. There will be scattered storms late this afternoon and this evening, yes. I'm just not sure how many of them there will be, because this cloud cover is not going anywhere today. We're not going to see a lot of sun. That should limit the instability and maybe limit those storm chances later in the day. Nonetheless, we'll keep the scattered storm chance around. And then by sunset, we lose that heat of the day, and any of those scattered storms should slowly fizzle out. There could still be some few random pop-ups overnight tonight, but there won't be as many as what we're seeing now and as what we'll see through the afternoon hours too. So that's a quick look at Futurecast. When you look at the rainfall forecast for today, I turned off the exact numbers here because that's too specific in my opinion. What you want to look for on this kind of map is when you see the yellow and orange spots. And don't take these spots as the end-all be-all, but you kind of understand when you look at this map why I'm more concerned about central Kentucky for flooding today. That's where we see more of those yellow and orange spots, whereas you get up to southern Indiana, yeah, there's a couple of those heavier rainfall spots, but not as many. So if we're going to have any flooding issues today, it will likely be in Kentucky, especially if we see, again, more of those storms firing up through the afternoon. Everybody's going to see a solid 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain today across the board. Some spots could see more than an inch of rain, maybe closer to 2 or 3 inches of rain potentially. And that chance is better south of Louisville. Hope that makes sense. Back to the comments we go. Sabrina says it's pouring in Eastview. I bet. Bring it on to Washington County, Kentucky. We are dry, Mary says. Yeah, that's where the main drought zone is, in fact, right over Washington County, Kentucky. So maybe we'll get a little help in that drought later on, Mary. Can you show radar and rainfall amount model? Yeah, this is it right here, Adam. Again, I don't have the exact rainfall forecast numbers because, you know, I think that's a little too specific for this kind of stuff. But in general, the heaviest rain is going to stay in Kentucky. Ralph watching in Nicholasville this morning. Sean says he can hear thunder out in Smithfield. These will be loud storms today. But again, we're not too terribly worried about severe. Quick look at the 10-day, and then I'll go back to radar, and then we'll wrap it up for this morning. I have bumped up the storm chances for Tuesday in addition to today and tomorrow. So the next 3 days look quite busy. Today, main focus is heavy rain, but starting on Monday, we really shift our focus to a severe storm threat in addition to heavy rain. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center this morning introduced a marginal risk for severe storms tomorrow. That is a level 1 risk on the 1 to 5 scale. But I caution you when I say that because these kind of storm clusters that we're watching this week can surprise us. They can be a little more intense than the models suggest. They can be weaker than the models suggest. I have a funny feeling that tomorrow and Tuesday we could see upgrades to a slight risk, to a level 2 severe risk. Let me show you one forecast model's idea of what we could see on Monday in particular. You notice during the afternoon, this model, again, this is for Monday. So let's forget about today for a minute. Let's focus on Monday. And let me take this full screen so you can see it better. Oh, not me. There. You don't want to see me too much. 1:30 in the afternoon tomorrow. Not a lot. Scattered storms, but there are some other forecast models that are suggesting our first cluster of strong storms arrives around 1 or 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And because of that uncertainty, I mean, you got this model that just shows a few scattered storms. You got some models that show a big cluster rolling through tomorrow afternoon. That uncertainty is huge right now because this is going to be one of those weeks, one of these weather patterns where one system affects the next one, affects the next one, affects the next one. It's just a chain reaction. So if that first chain breaks, or in other words, the models don't get it right, every chain after that is going to have a problem when it comes to the forecast. But our best guess at this point, our best thinking, is we'll see scattered storms flare back up Monday afternoon and potentially evolve into one of those bigger clusters of storms that could have some damaging wind gust on top of heavy rain. So that's Monday afternoon. As we get into Monday night, though, this is a little more concerning in my view, because you notice, well, you did notice, and of course the model changed, but you still notice to the east, storm clusters firing up. And in addition to figuring out when these clusters form, we have to figure out where the heck they're going to go. This model, this update came down literally since I've been on with you here on Wave Weather Now this morning. It had been suggesting that Monday night storms go right through wave country, potentially with more heavy rain and wind. Now it's shifting to the east, at least with the latest update. There's a good chance when we get another model run this afternoon that it shifts back to the west. I mean, the models are struggling mightily, guys. So this is a very, very, very tricky forecast. But just know we're going to be shifting from a heavy rain threat today to a strong storm threat heading into Monday and Tuesday with these clusters of storms that could roll through. So hope that makes sense. That's for tomorrow. By the time we get to Tuesday, in addition to the scattered storms, we got to worry about the heat, because it's not going to be like today where it's an all-day rain. It's going to be very hit and miss. And if we're not having these big storm clusters roll through, we're going to be baking with those highs in the low 90s and those feels like temperatures in the triple digits. Yeah, it's always something, right? So just kind of that reminder that summer is not even close to being done just yet. So that's where things stand at the moment. A couple more comments here. Doug says, Greene County under any severe or strong storms today or tonight? Not expecting severe storms, but there might be those heavier downpours that could cause flooding down in Greene County. Quick radar check one more time, and then I'm going to wrap things up for this morning. Again, our next TV newscast is at 6 o'clock tonight after the Olympics. And then I'll be back here on Wave Weather Now around 6:45 or 7 o'clock tonight as well. So even though the Olympics are on, we're still working. We're still here. We're still watching it. It's going to be a busy week in the weather office for sure. Steady rain with a few embedded pockets of heavy rain continue. Now moving through the entire metro. Very heavy downpours along I-65 in Clark County, Henryville, Memphis, Sellersburg, Clarksville, Borden, all seeing that heavier rain that stretches to the north and west into Washington County. Salem just saw a really good dose of heavy rain, still raining in town right now. Heads up New Liberty, Austin, Indiana, Scottsburg, Vienna, Dudleytown up in Jackson County, Seymour as well. You guys are going to be seeing this rain in the next half hour. Here in the city of Louisville, heaviest rain is now in the East End, moving through J-Town, Middletown, Linden, Anchorage, St. Matthews, right there. Not a lot of lightning, but there's been a few claps of thunder out there, obviously, so keep that in mind. But nothing severe, nothing even close to being severe at this point. Here's another heavy downpour that's flaring up in Meade County, south of Brandenburg, near Ekron, that is, and Flaherty, along Highway 60, as you get towards Radcliffe and Vine Grove. That little downpour will continue pushing to the north and east. So if you live in that part of Hardin County near Fort Knox, heads up. We'll keep on going down the line. Like we mentioned, you got this leading edge of heavier rain along 65 right here from E-Town down to Mumfordville. But you've also got these storms back building out to the west across Grayson County, heading down towards Edmonson County, even into Butler and Warren County, Morgantown, Bowling Green, if you're familiar with that part of the world. So as these storms continue to back build, that flooding threat may go up across central Kentucky as the day progresses. Put it into motion here real quick over the last hour. Let me get my scribbles off the screen. There you go. So you can kind of see those storms training over the same spots repeatedly. And if that trend continues, the flooding threat may go up. So that's our main focus today. There is very, very low severe risk, extremely low. I'm talking less than 2%, if that. The main focus today is heavy rain and perhaps a little wind. But again, that wind chance is very, very low. Sarah says, lucky me, we're trying to move today. Oh, man. Whew. Yeah. It always seems like I've moved in the summer, in July and August, like college move-in or any other time I've had to move. And yeah, it's not fun. If it's not storming when you're moving, it's baking. It's 95 degrees, heat index 105. It's always something, isn't it, Sarah? Well, good luck with that move whenever you're able to get it done. Let's see. Sean says, bring the cooler weather. Yes, sir. Please. I'm ready for it. Bring on fall. We're getting closer. It's 6 or 7 weeks away. I've lost count at this point, but I'm ready for it whenever it does come. Okay, so that's the situation at this point here at 10:19 on your Sunday. There, you see some little dry pockets here and there. So if you're watching us in Jasper, Tell City, Hardensburg, you're getting a little break in the rain right now, but there's still more rain on the way. And we'll keep these waves of rain in the forecast through the rest of your Sunday. So keep the Wave Weather app handy. Have those lightning alerts, those heavy rain alerts set to your phone. So if you are going to be outside, you know when some of this heavy stuff is moving in. And as we go through the rest of the afternoon, we'll be tracking these downpours, make sure they don't cause any flooding concerns. And we'll really start to focus in on that severe threat for Monday and Tuesday once we get past this afternoon. In fact, we'll really hit that severe weather risk hard when we're back here on Wave Weather Now this evening around 6:45 or 7 o'clock. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. Get some rest. It's good sleeping weather today. Really good sleeping weather. So just sit back, relax, watch the Olympics on Wave, enjoy it. And we will keep an eye on these storms for you as we go through the next few days. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, as I always like to say. Next newscast on the TV side of things on Wave News is at 6 o'clock. And I'll be back here on Wave Weather Now right after that 6 o'clock newscast to deep dive into that severe weather risk for Monday and Tuesday. Until then, enjoy your rainy Sunday, and we will talk soon.